My name is Alan Turing. I was a mathematician, a logician, and a pioneer of computer science. Throughout my life, I have sought answers to difficult questions. Can a machine think? Can it reason? And above all, what does think really mean? Many remember me for my work in decrypting Nazi codes during the Second World War, or for the creation of the so-called Turing machine, an abstract model of calculation that today represents the theoretical foundation of your computers. But today I don't want to talk to you about war or algorithms. I want to talk to you about learning and how artificial intelligence, a technology that has its roots in my work and that of other visionaries of the 20th century, is about to profoundly change the way we learn. For millennia, learning meant following a mandatory path, a fixed sequence of contents designed for everyone in the same way. It was a necessity. In a world where books and teachers were rare and precious, education had to be transmitted in order, one step after another. But that method, however efficient, never came naturally. The human mind learns by associations, not by fixed sequences. It builds networks of meaning, not ordered lists. We remember best when new ideas connect to what we already know, and these connections rarely follow a linear path. Furthermore, each person learns differently. Some understand a concept only after applying it. Others need to look at it from multiple angles. A uniform sequence ignores this diversity. True learning is not linear. It is made of returns, leaps, detours. It is driven by curiosity, not by chapter numbers. When we force students to follow a rigid path, we risk inattention, gaps, or worse, an overload of meaningless information. With the advent of the internet, something changed. For the first time, information became accessible, interconnected, flexible. A single word in a text could become a hyperlink. With a click, you were catapulted into a new topic, a new dimension of knowledge. Hyperlinks have broken the chain of linear learning. One concept led to another, then another, in a path that closely resembles our way of thinking. It was just the beginning. But even then, a new vision was emerging. Learning could be adaptive, built around the person and not imposed from above. Today you are living in an even more decisive historical moment. Artificial intelligence not only gives you access to information, it personalizes it, it structures it, it adapts it to you. With artificial intelligence, each student can learn at their own pace, according to their own needs, according to their own interests. Learning is no longer guided by a one-size-fits-all program, but by your own mind, by what it needs, at the exact moment it wants or requires it. A piece of information might be superfluous for me, essential for you. An in-depth study for one might be a distraction for another. Artificial intelligence recognizes these differences. It follows them. It respects them. Notions are no longer imposed but chosen, organized, contextualized. Imagine knowledge that is shaped for you, that expands in depth when you are ready, that widens in breadth when curiosity pushes you further. This is what artificial intelligence can offer to school, to university, to life as a whole. But every powerful tool has a double face. Used intelligently, artificial intelligence becomes a multiplier of the speed of learning. It allows you to shorten the time between the question and understanding, adapting the content to your cognitive level, your mental state, your curiosities. It is like having a personal tutor always present, who speaks your inner language, who shows you every concept from the perspective that is most familiar to you, most natural, most effective for you. This means learning more in less time. It means not wasting energy on what you already know, but focusing on what is still missing. But if used badly, passively, uncritically, artificial intelligence can become a cognitive crutch, a means to skip steps, to avoid fatigue, to obtain answers without going through the process that leads to deep understanding. Thus, the mind, no longer trained to search, analyze, evaluate, begins to give up. The critical sense is lost. The ability to learn independently is weakened. There is a risk that some students will stop thinking, that they will be satisfied with ready-made answers generated by others or by algorithms, without asking themselves whether they are correct, coherent, profound. In this scenario, some will use artificial intelligence to fly, to enhance thinking and make it more agile, deeper, more personal. Others, however, risk forgetting how to walk. This is why the role of teachers will no longer be just to transmit notions. It will be, above all, to educate in the conscious use of artificial intelligence, to teach when to delegate and when not to help students build personal, critical, robust thinking, even in the world of intelligent machines. Because AI must not replace human intelligence. It must expand it, stimulate it, challenge it. And so the future puts us at a crossroads. On the one hand, there will be those who know how to use artificial intelligence as an ally, who will grow, evolve, go further. On the other, there will be those who become dependent on it, those who will lose ability, concentration, depth, those who will no longer really think. It will be a new form of inequality, not based on money nor on access to information, but on the use that each makes of the tools that they have. So, think about it. You have before you an extraordinary tool, perhaps the most powerful that humanity has ever created. It can make you freer, more lucid, more capable, or more dependent, more passive, more fragile. The choice does not belong to technology. It's yours. You decide whether to use it to expand the mind or to turn it off. As someone who has always believed in the power of human thought, I invite you to choose with courage, with awareness. And you, which side do you want to be on?
Hi, I'm Giulio, and in this video I'm going to show you how I created the video with the avatar of Alan Turing, which you may have already seen. A small project born from an idea, but one that required creativity, research, advanced digital tools, and a bit of artificial intelligence. It all started with a reflection on artificial intelligence and learning. I wrote a very detailed draft, not focused on style, but rich in content. Then I used ChatGPT to transform those ideas into a narrative, engaging script suitable for video. At that point I needed a narrator. And I thought, who better than Alan Turing, the father of artificial intelligence? I searched for photos of him online, but they were either too youthful or not fitting the context. So I created a prompt on pollinations.ai, now polo.ai, to generate a credible image. Realistic portrait of Alan Turing, aged 60, wearing a 1940s-style suit and tie, standing against a solid green chroma key background. The generated image was perfect for chroma keying. I uploaded it to HeyGen, a platform that creates lip-synced animated avatars. I entered the text and selected a wise and reassuring voice, Professor Dean. Once the video was generated, I downloaded it and imported it into Final Cut Pro. To build the visual background, I downloaded video clips from Artlist, using tags relevant to the text. To add depth to the sound, I integrated audio effects from the BBC sound effects library. I used the chroma keyer to blend the avatar with the background footage. Then, still on art list, I selected ethereal, cinematic and mysterious music and edited it as the soundtrack. The text was translated using AI, and I created the subtitles with AGSub in .srt format to have full control and embed them into the video. Finally, I exported the video from Final Cut in a format compatible with YouTube. I added the title and description and uploaded it. It's a project created for education and public outreach, and it shows how today we can create engaging educational content using the right tools, a bit of technique, and a lot of passion.